Hi there, my fellow gamers. Slim chassis with high-performing CPU and GPU options, good cooling, moderate noise levels and extensive I/O are usually things that do not quite go hand in hand. Unless you're talking about Lenovo and specifically about the Legion Slim 7, then you kind of can have it all at once without any considerable drawbacks. So they kind of ruined my usual pick your poison talk, but well, if it makes for a good notebook. The Slim 7 follows the same overall design language we already know and appreciate from the plethora of Legions we already tested in 2023. The Slim addition to the name is more than adequate and the subtle chassis looks almost elegant despite it being a gaming notebook. But you will hear me say this more than once throughout this review, this puppy definitely caters to a much wider audience. Our sample of the 16-incher comes with Intel's Raptor Lake i9 13900H, Nvidia's RTX 4070 with a rated TGP of 140 watts, 32 gigs of DDR5-5200 RAM, a 1TB SSD and a 16x10 QHD Plus panel refreshing at a speedy 240 Hz. In addition to being a lot slimmer in contrast to the Legion Pro 7s, the Slim also transports a lot more of a premium feel. There are no plastic bits around the cooling vents, and while the edges around the base unit are quite sharp, the polished aluminium looks simply amazing. Lenovo also put the 16-incher on quite the diet, making it one of the lightest notebooks of this class, all while maintaining excellent overall stability, with minimal flex on the keyboard deck and an exceptionally sturdy display lid. The hinges keeping the display in place are generally well adjusted, we just wish they could prevent screen wobble a little more. When it comes to I/O, well, we are talking about a Legion, which is almost always a guarantee for a well-placed assortment of ports, and the Slim 7 certainly delivers in this regard. It even brought back the illumination behind the display, making it a little easier to find the connector you are looking for in a dimly lit gaming cave. On the left you got your two USB-Cs, one being Thunderbolt 4, the other being 3.2 Gen 2 with DisplayPort and power delivery. The right side of the Slim chassis is home to a physical webcam switch and a full-size SD card reader, with once more only average transfer rates. And between the cooling vents in the back you can find a total of 3 USB-A 3.2 Gen 2s, HDMI 2.1 and the power connector. As with the Legion Slim 514 we just reviewed, the 2-megapixel webcam in the bigger brother is again alright, but Lenovo showed that it can do a lot better with the Yoga Pros and their respective 5-megapixel shooters. Wi-Fi transfers on the other hand leave no room for criticism, so while you might not look your best during your next Zoom call, you can at least rely on a stable connection. Despite the slim chassis, Lenovo kept the compromises regarding maintenance and upgradability to a minimum, and while 16 gigs of RAM are soldered, you can add or upgrade via one additional SODIMM slot. Not ideal, but definitely better than just soldered RAM altogether. In addition, you can easily upgrade your storage with 2 NVMe slots, with one being of course already populated with a pretty speedy drive that unfortunately cannot hold its excellent initial transfer rates indefinitely. The Wi-Fi module is also changeable, and again, for such a slim notebook, the Legion is doing pretty well in the maintenance department. It also might not be a ThinkPad or anything close to your typical office notebook, but typists and gamers alike will be very happy with the keyboard. With 1.5mm of travel, great tactility, a pronounced pressure point and a practical layout, you will have a hard time finding a better keyboard right now. Unfortunately, the touchpad can once more not really convey the same satisfying feel, with very cheap sounding clicks. In the display department, the Slim 7 comes with the same option already found in its beefier Pro 7 brothers, which is both good and kinda disappointing. The QHD display is a very solid screen. With G-Sync support, high brightness, no PWM and snappy response times, there is nothing inherently wrong with the panel. But it only covers sRGB, which can seriously limit your options when you work in more visually focused professions. That said, there is a higher res 4K option available, which is supposed to cover the DCI-P free color space, and while we have not yet had the chance to test that one, if you are a photographer or a graphic designer, you might want to consider that panel when shopping for your Slim 7. Talking about displays, Lenovo also sent over one of their latest gaming monitors, alongside the Legion, and the 34-inch widescreen panel makes for a pretty wild addition to your laptop setup. While I am personally not the biggest fan of VA panels, this thing is loaded with features. The 165Hz mini LED panel makes for some stunning visuals in supported HDR games. For tear-free gaming you get G-Sync and FreeSync, and the sRGB mode made grading our latest videos on this one a breeze. It is also quite the capable centerpiece of your setup, allowing you to use two separate machines with the same peripherals thanks to its KVM. And with a total of 4 USB-A's, 2 HDMI 2.1s, DisplayPort, USB-C and even Ethernet, this was one of the most flexible monitors I ever came across. In the performance department, the Slim 7 cannot quite keep up with the bigger Legion Pro 7, since those utilize their bigger chassis to accommodate Intel's HX CPUs across the board. So if you are after the fastest silicon, you might want to bite the bullet and go with the beefier options. That said, the Slim can easily keep up and mostly even outperform similar H CPU equipped options like the ROG M16 or the Alienware X16. Our system performance tests even put the sleek Legion at the very top, and while the differences here are usually pretty small, the Slim can leave even much more powerful notebooks in the dust. The very same story continues in the GPU department, and the RTX 4070 in this one is one of the fastest variants we have ever tested so far in our synthetics rating. And in our 1080p gaming selection, the Legion is also very much on par with similarly equipped notebooks. In heavier and much more recent games, the 4070 also performs adequate. Please enjoy our benchmarks, and if you liked the video so far, please feel free to sub to stay up to date on all things tech and laptops. And if you want to get a more hands-on experience of the Slim 7 during gaming, please check out our stream we did not too long ago. As I have teased earlier, the Slim 7 even has fan noise and temps under control, even in the thin chassis, and to give you guys a subjective impression about what to expect, we recorded some noise samples for you. If you want to get deeper into the temperature behavior of the subtle Legion or are more interested in our measured dB numbers under various loads, please feel free to check out our written review, linked in the description below. So up until now everything has been very smooth sailing for the thin gamer, but it's time to talk about battery life. And while almost all Legions are good performers with stellar inputs and great port selections, they are usually quite a bit below average when it comes to the time away from the wall. And the Slim 7 continues the same story, with just about 4 hours and 21 minutes in our Wi-Fi test, which is really not very good. Alright folks, it's time to wrap it up for today. Actually, there's not much more to say. The Legion Slim 7 is a clear win once again, with minimal performance and build quality compromises to achieve its thin and light profile. Its Achilles heel is clearly battery life, but if you are looking for a great typing machine, a gaming or work notebook with all the ports, a subtle performer that you can bring to the office or on assignment, or plain and simple a clean looking gaming machine, this is all of the above. But please folks, let me know what you think about this one. Sound off in the comments below. Once more, please consider hitting that like and sub button. Thanks a ton for watching. My name is Alex, you have been absolutely fantastic, and I cannot wait to see you all in the next one. Take care.